Hey friends, this is what you are going to be doing during my station today. Our learning target says I can solve addition word problems. So I'm going to go through kind of the basic outline that I want you all to follow when we complete word problems. So first we're going to look at my box here. These are the 4 things that I want to train your all's brains to understand when we answer questions. We have to think, what is the question asking? We're going to draw a model to help us. We're going to solve it, and then we're going to answer with a complete sentence if you can. This is just the framework, the way I want your all's brains to be organized when we answer some questions. So we're going to walk through a couple, and then you're going to practice on your own. So the first question says, there are 24 students in Miss Perry's class and 22 students in Miss Wilson's class. How many students are there in both classes? So first things first, we need to figure out what the question's asking. So I'm going to find the sentence that has the question mark, and I'm going to underline it or highlight it. You all can underline or just watch. This is the first step. We need to figure out what the question's asking because that's how we know whether we need to add, subtract, multiply, divide when we get to those operations. So how many students are there in both classes? So that's what we're trying to answer. So let's see what our numbers say. Our numbers say there are 24 students in Miss Perry's class and there are 22 students in Miss Wilson's class. So how many students are there in both classes? So what we're going to do, I'm going to use, so that's step 1. What is the question asking? How many students are there in both classes? So I'm going to draw a model. I'm going to use our part-whole model because we know that there are 24 students in Miss Perry's class and 22 students in Miss Wilson's class, and we want to find how many are there in all. We want to find the total amount. So when we want to find the total amount of something, we are going to add. And if we're missing our whole, that means we're going to add. So moving on to step 3, we would solve it. But to solve it, we need to create our math sentence. And you all know how to do this. So our math sentence would say 24 plus 22. And we're going to find the sum. Find the sum. So this is where I want you all to pause and solve on your own. Use your sleeve or your whiteboard. And draw your place value chart, and you're going to solve 24 plus 22. Push play when you're ready to begin again. So push pause, solve, and then push play. So 24 plus 22, 2 10s, 4 1s, 2 10s, 2 1s. I'm going to count my ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 10s, so our sum is 46. Now, if we were filling in our chart, we would write the answer with a complete sentence. And we're going to practice using a chart like this later, but I'm just introducing it to you all today so you can see. But if we were going to solve this with a complete sentence, how many students are there in both classes? There are, 46 students in both classes. We want to physically write it out. And now you can't do that for all things, but that's what I want us to start leaning towards when we solve word problems. Now, let's look at the next word problem. A video game cost $14. A bicycle cost $51 more than the video game. How much does the bicycle cost? So, first step in our chart, it says, what is the question asking? So I'm going to find that sentence in our word problem that has the question mark. So there's my question mark. I'm going to go back into the beginning of the sentence. How much does the bicycle cost? That's what we're trying to figure out. I'm going to read it again. A video game cost $14. A bicycle cost $51 more than the video game. How much does the bicycle cost? So let's think about a model we could use here. So we know that our video game cost $14. There's $14. Our bicycle cost $51 more than the video game. So we know that the bicycle is 14 plus 51 because it's 14 more or $51 more than the video game. So that kind of leads us into our addition problem because it's saying we know how much more, we just don't know the total amount. When we're adding, we're trying to find the total amount of something. So this is going to be our math sentence, so this would be step 3. So if you wanted to do 14 plus 51 here, you could. If you wanted to draw pictures, you could. If you wanted to do our bar model, we could do that too because we know it's 14 and it's 51 more. We just don't know our total amount still. So I want you to take a moment and solve on your whiteboard or your dry erase sleeve 14 plus 51 to determine the total amount, to determine how much the bicycle costs, because that's what our question's asking. Push pause, and when you've solved it, let's check our answers. All right. So 14 plus 51, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. So the cost of the bicycle is what? Should be $65. So how much does the bicycle cost? If we wanted to answer with a complete sentence, the bike cost $65, and that's our dollar sign right there. If you wanted to write $65 with words, you could do that too. Make sure you read this carefully when you're entering on the form too. Now the last one I'm going to read and get started for you, but you're going to solve this one on your own. There are 35 students on the playground. Another class comes out and 44 more students come out to play. How many students are on the playground now? I'm going to read it again. There are 35 students on the playground. Another class comes out and 44 more students come out to play. How many students are on the playground now? So this is the question we are answering. I want you all to set up and solve this on your own and answer in the form.